I'm having the weirdest day. Yeah, I'm not gonna explore that, but it's been a weird day. Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Shelly, and today I'm doing a book haul. This is a collective haul. Some of these books were gifts, and I have broken them into 3 categories. Okay, so the first one is Booktube inspired. My first category is Booktube inspired. And so these are books that I've either heard about on Booktube and then picked them up. And let's start with that. So the first one that I've probably had the longest out of this stack is The Tin Flute by Gabrielle Roy. This is a translated novel that I first heard about from Elizabeth at Bouquets and Books. Whenever Elizabeth talks about anything, I want to read it. And this one stood out. Actually, myself and Stephanie Cohen, she's an avid commenter on many of our channels. She mentioned wanting to read this, and so we set up a buddy read. And we roped Sandy from Miss Reads a lot into the buddy read as well, because this book is on Sandy's 1001 books you must read before you die list. I don't know too much about it. I just know that when Elizabeth talked about it, I was like, yes, that sounds amazing. So I'm really excited to get to The Tin Flute. I'm actually going to read it next month. All right, the next book is the Journals of May Sarton, the Journal of Solitude. I heard Gina from Gina Stand Your Books talk about this, and I heard Hannah from Hannah's Books talk about May Sarton. Hannah had just picked up several volumes or 2 volumes of May Sarton's essays, and I have heard that May Sarton writes about quiet, about solitude and nature, and that she lets her voice, this quiet voice, come through in her writing. That sounds like something I would really enjoy. I've noticed over the years that nature books set in nature, about nature, praising nature, are ones that I definitely gravitate towards. And so I thought May Sarton may be an author for me, and I'm really excited to get to this. I actually would love to get to this pretty soon. All right, then my next category, so those were definitely just Booktube inspired purchases, purely Booktubey. The next ones are Booktube meets my 1001 children's books you must read before you grow up. And I have 3 books in this category. The first 2 are gifts from Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot. Thank you, Sandy. I announced my project, and she immediately sent me these books that are on my list, and one of which I've read, but I'm glad to have, and one of which I haven't. So the one that I haven't read is Ramona the Pest by Beverly Cleary, and this is a perfect book right now because it's about Ramona going into kindergarten, and my oldest just started kindergarten last month. So this is going to be a fun little read for me. I'll probably read it with him. I'm excited about this. And then the next one is Lyle Crocodile, and this is by Bernard Weber. And this is just a sweet picture book with these vintagey styled illustrations. This is an older book. Let me see when this was published. 1965, and it's definitely evocative of the 60s, the artwork in it. And you know what? I know I've read this, but it's been a long time, so I'm due for a reread. I couldn't even summarize what this is about. All right. Again, this is kind of like Booktube meets the list, and that is The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. This is Elizabeth from Bouquets and Books, who I mentioned before. I'm going to link everyone's channel below. This is her favorite book. And I also heard Becky from the Teacup Storyteller rave about this book. So I had these 2 lovely booktubers, these women in my mind, and I went to take my boys out for a day date, a play date. We just went to the park and fed some fish and fed the turtles, and we ended up at Barnes & Noble. And while I was getting them a little treat, I was like, I want a little treat. And so I had just talked about how I wanted to read more tome-like books for my Trials of the Tomes 2022. and I thought this would be the perfect addition, and it's also on my list, the list. All right, these last several books are purely just part of my list. And the first one is this beautiful Penguin edition of Jules Verne, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I've never read any Jules Verne. I might do a reading vlog on this because I've heard wonderful things about Verne's writing, and I'm really, really excited to experience that. So if you all would like to see like a reading process with me type of vlog, let me know, because I think this would be a fun one to do that with. The next one is The Complete Nonsense of Edward Lear. This is one of the oldest or the older types of nonsensical poems written for children that Edward Lear started. Maybe I'll start doing some Poetry Thursdays with this. I have been really not great about keeping up on Poetry Thursday. But this is one that I wanted to pick up because I know that nonsense poems what is it, Lewis Carroll from the Alice in Wonderland and Shel Silverstein, they all both wrote nonsensy poems, and I believe that those were inspired by or took a page from Edward Lear's book, essentially. One second. Okay, I didn't mention the haircut. I don't think I've mentioned it yet. I cut my hair off. I thought it was pretty obvious, and it was time for a change, and I'm so glad to have short hair again. Okay, my next one that I got was another tome ebook, tome-like book, and it's Calvino's, Italiano Calvino's Italian folk tales. And these are folk tales that are selected and retold by Calvino. I've read some of Calvino's short stories. I'm somewhat familiar with his writing style and his work, and I do get along with it. This is also on my list, the children's book list. If you don't know, I didn't mention, and I don't mean to be exclusive to those who just know, that I am reading through the 1001 children's books you must read before you grow up, which is right here, which is a list of books that one must read before they grow up. And even though I am grown up, I wanted to read through the list because I have an obsession with children's literature. So this I saw and I was really intrigued because I do love Calvino's writing, at least what I've read, though it's been a while. And I wanted to see how he retold folk tales and how he decided his take on these on folk tales, essentially. And I was, excited to get to this. So here it is. It's about 700 pages long. Okay, the last two are definitely children's books, like for kids. And this is Figgy Hoban, and this is written by Charles Cosley and illustrated by Trina Schardt-Hyman. I saw this as I was cataloging the list, and I was immediately drawn to the illustrations. I think they're beautiful, and this won't take me but not long to read. I just haven't gotten to reading it yet. I need to set aside some time, some dedicated time where I just sit down and read the children's books. But as always, I'm learning how to structure and process this project, and that's part of it. So Figgy Hoban, and just really excited to dig into this one. And the last one had to do with my plan to read older literature first to see what was inspired after it. And so this is Lavender Blues. This is a book of nursery rhymes, and I believe it was published in the 1800s, 1954. I was wrong, 1954, but still older. Not super old, older, and it has these beautiful vintagey colors on the cover, and the illustrations are in black and white, and they are nursery rhymes. So really excited to get to this Lavender Blues. It was compiled by Kathleen Lyons, and pictures are by Harold Jones. So that is my haul, a collective haul. I've just been buying books kind of here, there, and everywhere. A lot of these are from thrift books. The vast majority are from thrift books. It's been a lot of fun collecting and showing you all now. Okay, let's do a Steve stack. So we have Lila Crocodile, we have Lavender Blues, we have Figgy Hoban, we have Calvino's Italian Folktales, The Three Musketeers, The Tin Flute, Journal of Solitude, King Lear, Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth, and Ramona the Pest. So this is my collective haul, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.